Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about how to improve the expected click-through rate on your Google ads. So if you don't know what this is or what it's referring to, just to clear this up, this is the score that Google's ad serving algorithm gives your ads of what it thinks your ad's going to get in terms of a click-through rate to determine what they're charging you per click. If they start out by saying that they think your ad click-through rate's going to be low, you're going to end up paying 2, 3, 4 times as much for a click than if they think your ad is going to start out with a very high click-through rate. Eventually, Google figures out what your actual click-through rate is, and that's what they go by. But before then, until you get about 1,000 clicks on an ad from a certain individual keyword, it doesn't really know. So, or should we say on a single ad that is being run within a single ad group. So there's an absolutely turnkey way though to get Google, instead of just maybe it's hit or miss, maybe they'll rate it high, maybe they won't for what they think the click-through rate's going to be, how to rate it high, how you get the algorithm to rate it high every single time. And that's what I'm going to cover in today's video. So with that said, there's a very simple way to get your expected click-through rate up on your ad so that your click-through rate is assumed to be very good as per what Google would mention it. It's going to be, or should I say above average, expected to be above average, average, or below average, which is your three kind of ratings that Google gives to your ad as to what they think the click-through rate is going to be. Above average, going into getting you a 9 out of or 10 out of 10 quality score. Average being 5 quality score, and a below average 2 or 3 quality score, which there's a 4x difference in the cost per click in one versus the other, assuming you don't factor in the landing page, expected landing page experience score, which is half of the algorithm in and itself. But we'll assume that if we just look at that and take that out, what you'll find is the difference in what you're paying per click, and the quality score will dictate whether you're going to pay $10 a click or $2.50 per click. There's a 4x difference in good quality scores near the 10 mark versus low quality scores near the 1 or 2 mark, or even 2 or 3 mark, as per what I've noticed. Because nobody really gets a 1 quality score. Really, it gets down to about a 3. So you could pay $10 for a click for the same click you would get for $2.50 if you were to get that quality score from a 3 to a 10. And if you don't believe me, by the way, go ahead and go into the Google keyword tool and look for your keywords there, and you'll see the estimated cost per click high range versus low range. That low range is going to be assuming you got a quality score of 10 versus a quality score of 3 on the high range, if you will. So it's all up to you whether you're going to pay the $10 or $2.50 for the same click that everybody else is getting, and all dependent on how much work you actually put in on your ads. Of course, you have to have a good product or service that you could put something into an ad that will actually get people to click through your ad, but respectively, you give me, I don't care what you give me to sell, whether it has no competitive advantage or not, I'm going to be able to get almost a 10 anyway, just by using commonly known stuff that I have picked up over the last 15 years running ads on Google Ads that universally will get attention, get interest, get click through, and most importantly, get your ads to stand out from the 4 ads that are at the top of Google, that your ad gets clicked on at least 2 or 3 times the rate as anybody else's ad, because that's what it takes to get the low range of what Google wants to charge you for a click on that keyword. So with that said, respectively, the expected click-through rate is what Google leans on. Their algorithm tries to assume what your click-through rate is going to be, and therefore what you're going to pay per click, before your keyword gets, or ad group, if you want to say ad group, gets at least 1,000 clicks on it. So, you obviously it's going to help yourself out if you can get an expected click-through rate that's closer to to show above average for your keywords, because it obviously gives you that rating on a per keyword ad basis. So really the 1,000 clicks is per keyword. It's going to assume what your click-through rate is on that keyword on a keyword by keyword basis. And as per what we found out, you're not going to, where the expected click-through rate isn't what is primarily dictating your cost per click that you're being charged. Is after you've got at least 1,000 clicks on that keyword. And so obviously it could take a long time to get 1,000 clicks on each one of your keywords, particularly if you're trying to use exact match keyword targeting, which is more and more required to get your ads to work, given how liberal Google is with their keyword matching system anymore, and how phrase match is like broad match used to be, and exact match is really like phrase match used to be. So it can be a year before you get the expected click-through rate isn't what's mainly driving what you're paying per click in terms of click-through rate on the ad, if you will. So with all that said, here's to get down to it. If you want to consistently have the expected click-through rate be above average, which you can determine obviously going into and adjusting your columns on your keyword menu so you can see what expected click-through rate is, because it'll show you click-through rate and then expected click-through rate. Expected click-through rate before you have 1,000 keywords is what's driving your cost per click, not the click-through rate itself. So if you want expected click-through rate to be high, you just are going to use the SKAG model, which is abbreviation for single keyword ad groups. This has been around for a while. I seem to be the only YouTuber, if you will. I'm not a YouTuber, I'm an ad agency owner. These other people sell courses and shit, call themselves a YouTuber, which their information's suspect. They're not an actual practitioner. They don't actually see what's going on in niche to niche to get a real feel on what's going on. But they say you don't use the SKAG model anymore because you're not going to get as good a result with it. In short term, they're actually right because of this, like pretty much what we're talking about here. The algorithm, it takes a while to figure out with single keyword ad groups that you have something good because they got to check each keyword what the results are. And so you will get results quicker with fewer keywords and fewer ads because the algorithm figures out what you have quicker. But there's no way your ad's going to beat my ad if I can write a custom written ad for a certain specific search like brown leather brass buckle shoes. If I write an ad just for that and you're writing an ad assuming that all leather shoes has to see this ad, I'm going to beat you every time. And then so whether I'm not looking for short-term profits. I'm looking for the most long-term profits. If you only have $2 and it's got to work right away, of course you can use less keywords, less ads. But if you want to make millions more over the long run, single keyword ad groups is still where it's at because that's what the user wants, which is why I have a beef with what other YouTubers are saying. The consumer wants a specialized ad for what they're searching for, but for some reason the YouTubers say, oh, well, that's not how you make the most money. Whatever gets the users what they want is what's going to make you more money because they're going to want to do business with you, and Google wants what the users wants as well, and will scratch your back by helping their users because people then will want to click on ads in the future if they get a good experience from ads. So anyway, getting back to the topic at hand here, use single keyword ad groups because that'll get your expected click-through rate to double across the board, often just putting you in a position to hit at least a 9 or a 10 on the, or should I say at least, hitting a 9 or 10 out of the 10 quality, 1 to 10 quality score scale to get your cost per click on that low end of that range I was talking about earlier. And the reason for that is simple, because the algorithm is heavily dependent on it. We know this because we've tested this out and we've tried different things. And universally, filling out all the headlines and getting a high ad strength score, none of that is going to affect your expected click-through rate per se. What affects the expected click-through rate, 90% of it is they look at the keyword and they look at the ad and they see how closely the keyword and the ad match together to see what the expected click-through rate is going to be. Because the closer that you write the ad to the keyword, the higher the click-through rate normally is, which is why I don't understand still why people don't want to still do single keyword ad groups. Of course, if you're searching for a brown buckle boot with black polka dots and you have an ad that says brown buckle boot with black polka dots on it, that's going to get the highest click-through rate. Google's algorithm already knows that as well. So they know if your ad is laser targeted to that longer or more specific search, that almost universally will have the higher click-through rate as compared to the other people in your space that are targeting the same keyword who are not doing that. So their algorithm pretty much knows your ad is so targeted to the keyword here, it's almost for sure going to get a higher click-through rate, so they can safely assume you're going to have an above average click-through rate in your market just by looking at how close the ad matches to the keyword. And so in order to do that, you got to use single keyword ad groups. You got to have individual handwritten ads. Don't do any of this dynamic keyword insertion bullshit. It doesn't count. It doesn't work. Don't shortcut it. Handwrite the ad for every keyword. You can use a template to where you're using a lot of the same components for keyword to keyword in terms of writing your ads, but you have a unique ad for every keyword still. And you try to make the first headline match the keyword. The second headline kind of play off what the keyword is a little bit as well, is what we try to do that gets the most results as well. So if you're searching for HVAC services, you're going to put HVAC services in the first headline, and the second headline is going to say #1 in HVAC services in Tampa. So to get the maximum click-through rate from your ad, from having a custom ad for that individual keyword, so people, when they see 4 ads at the top of Google, they say, wow, that makes it easy for me to decide what to click on here. And then you get your expected click-through rate that you want from that, and then your actual click-through rate will be high even after the first 1,000 clicks on that keyword or from that keyword is already done, for them to start using real click-through rate, not expected click-through rate, to determine what you're paying per click. Now, you can't just target 5 or 10 keywords and write custom ads for those each of those keywords and call it good. No. If you want an above average expected click-through rate across the board, every single one of your keywords, you need to take some time to do the research to figure out not just 5 or 10 keywords to target, but several hundred keywords in your space. If you're in a towing space, for instance, find out all the variants of people, ways that they're searching. If you've already advertised for a while on Google, go to your search terms report, they're all there. If you haven't advertised very much on Google yet, that means going to SpyFu, that means going to Google Keyword Tool, finding all the different keywords in your niche, and then mixing and matching all the keywords, running a test campaign to see which ones you can actually advertise on, because if a keyword doesn't get searched enough, it'll say low search volume, sorry, you can't advertise on this keyword. But then that's how you end up with several hundred actual variants of the way people search for your towing service, so that you get 24/7 towing service, 24/7 car towing service, 24/7 truck towing service. So you can have a custom written ad for every one of those. So you don't just say 24/7 towing service, you say 24/7 car towing service for the person who types 24/7 car towing service into Google, because that's what's going to get higher click-through rates in actuality, and that's what the algorithm's going to see as going to get more click-through rates than the other people you're competing against for that keyword at the end of the day. And then, of course, to make it worth doing this and to match everything up, you're going to have all your keywords an exact match, at least to start. When you extracted all the value out of the exact match keywords, you can add phrase match keywords of the same keyword in each ad group, so that each ad group has an exact match version of that keyword and a phrase match version of that keyword in it. Or you can do what I do a lot of times, most of the time, is once you've got all the clicks you possibly can out of all those keywords in exact match, you go through your search terms report again, or going through your search terms report, find any keywords you're not targeting individually, and then add those as new ad groups, write new ads just for those terms, so that you can expand how many clicks you can get, because you're now have more granularity and so there's even tighter matching between what people are searching for and the ad that you're showing. So you find the small nuances that you didn't find initially, if you will. And but anyway, that's the basic process. If you want expected click-through rate to be above average, that's how you do it, because that's how Google's algorithm, that's already smart and has seen a lot, knows how to tell if your ad, your keyword, if you will, is going to have a higher click-through rate than not, because that keyword is very specific. You got a very specific ad written for it that match up almost 1-to-1, and the competition for that keyword doesn't have an ad that matches what that keyword actually says. So that's all you got to do that's all you have to do to beat your competition in terms of expected click-through rate. Even if people have been advertising for years, because people are lazy, they don't want to write a custom ad for every keyword. And this is how you beat them after you have 1,000 keywords, 1,000 clicks on that individual keyword or each keyword itself, Because, again, the consumer wants a custom ad when they search for specific things. Are you going to give it to them? If so, Google rewards you handsomely. If not, you'll get the average results everybody else gets, which, I'm sorry, it's not a yellow page listing where everybody wins and everybody gets a fourth place trophy here. At the end of the day, 20% of the people who run the ads in most spaces are making most of the money. I know because I see it. A lot of people you see advertising, they don't even know they're not making money because they don't track the results. Only probably 20-30% of people that advertise track their results right. So you're not going to be able to just look at and see, okay, well, if I do what they do, it works. No. You're not going to probably make money doing that. You have to be able to do more than what other people are doing. Strive to do better than everybody in terms of that ad relevance to what people are searching for and the landing page relevance for what the user is searching for. And of course, convertibility of that landing page, giving the user what they want quickly and, looks trustworthy because the design's professional at the same time and so forth. And if you put more work in than the other people advertising on the keywords you want to advertise on today, you will make money. If you're just going to half-ass it and just do whatever the other people are doing because I don't want to spend time and I don't want to pay anybody any money to do this, chances are you're not going to make money. And I'm telling you, the difference between, ultimately not doing this and doing this is millions, or if you want to call it a lot of work, call it a lot of work. But there's millions of dollars on the line, and the work that is necessary might be 100 or 200 hours of work up front, and then another 2 or 3 hours a month for millions of dollars in top line revenue and literally millions of dollars in profit over the next 10 years. So whether you get it or somebody else gets it, all comes down to who's going to put enough work in or put the most work in to actually deliver an experience to the consumer. You may have the best product or service in the world, but if the consumer doesn't know that gives you a few seconds on Google for you to convey that to them, it doesn't matter. And if you don't want to do it, you simply pay someone to do it because someone who does know how to do it for you will never cost more than what you're going to get as a result of that campaign over the next 10 years. So, it's easier to make money making your ad campaign better than it is to make efficiency gains in your operations by far. So, there's no reason not to capitalize on this. Of course, you can reach out to my agency, by the way, shameless plug, and we don't even charge money up front necessarily until you are able to make the campaign more profitable. Literally speaking, we're the only agency that actually does that, so we can do all this work, know what it will deliver. As long as you're going to pay us handsomely at the end, we're fine with it because we know what I'm talking about here delivers. So basically, we charge a lot, but the results are huge. Whereas most other agencies, by the way, they charge a little because that's what you want to hear. They do little to nothing. You expect a lot for a little. They know they can't do a lot for a little, so they don't even try. They pretend to work, you pretend to pay them, nobody wins. So, as a final thing to end this video with, I'm going to make a separate video about this specifically, but the expected click-through rate, because obviously half the equation as to whether you're paying that $10 per click or $2.50 per click, high or low range on your keyword per keyword, comes down to half of the expected click-through rate before you got the first 1,000 clicks on a keyword, and half of it actually comes from the landing page experience score, or the expected landing page experience from the user. And that is not so cut and dry, but for the most part, if you make a custom landing page to go with every one of your keywords so that the headline matches what the keyword is, not exactly, but for the moving company, for the towing company, going back to that example, if I type in 24/7 car towing service and you put 24/7 car towing service in that headline, that's most of what will get you to having an above average landing page experience score on your landing page before you have the 1,000 clicks through your ad and to that landing page for that particular keyword. Furthermore, you can go ahead and you can add that particular keyword 2 or 3 times throughout the page. It's similar to how you optimize for on-page SEO. The algorithm will pretty much give you a high, above average expected click-through or landing page experience score as well, doing that technique in combination with the technique on getting the expected click-through rate. So that's how you get your expected landing page experience score up as high as you can, along with your expected click-through rate experience score before you get that first 1,000 clicks as well. So obviously that's also probably, certainly more work than getting that higher than average expected or above average click-through rate. But, obviously, do you want to pay for the first 1,000 clicks on each keyword an additional 4x, cost per click? Well, if no, then you got to do the work. And of course, with a data entry person and making a video explaining what you need to do for each keyword, it could cost you a couple grand up front, and you're now paying at least half the amount per click. And in a certain market where you're paying, a lot of these markets you're paying 20, 30 bucks a click, that's savings right there. You get that back month one. And to get, like I said, 1,000 clicks on each keyword, that might take you a year to get through before the expected click-through rate and expected landing page experience score isn't primarily what's dictating your cost per click. So with that said, though, I'll pretty much wrap it up with that. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. If you have any questions at all about ad-related stuff, Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever, I'm more than happy to help you out. Just leave me a comment, and I get back to everybody just as a way to give back for people that have taken the time to watch and subscribe to the channel. If you like my channel, by the way, I also have a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog where you can also find really great advice from myself on how to make money with ads through Facebook, through Google, and so forth. As well as I got a column at entrepreneur.com where you can also subscribe to my updates about how to make money with ads and certain things that are going on with that as well. If you like my channel, you'll like my written content as well. If you would be so nice as to give the video a like, I really appreciate it. If you saw a lot of value out of this particular video, I'd really like that, so we can, of course, be able to help more people with what we're doing here. Beyond that, if you have the need to actually get more results on your campaign or just don't have the time for it, as mentioned, I run a PPC agency here. What we do is we offer clients guaranteed results with their campaigns. In that, if we can't get you more results on your campaign before paying, then we turn your we turn your campaign and optimizing your campaign down here at our agency. And so if you reach out to my agency at guaranteeppc.com, I'd be happy to look at what you're doing for free and see if there's a way we can work together. I don't work with just any client, but of course, if you have a great product or service where all you need is some great marketing tied to it, we can more than likely work together, and I can give you an estimate, like I said, of what we can do for upfront for free in terms of an increase in sales or leads up front before we take a fee, and we would tell you that right up front. So if you're interested in that kind of analysis or quote, reach out to me and I'd be happy to look at your stuff. If you are in a niche that we've worked in before, you'd be silly to try to do like everything I'm telling you on this channel to do for your business, as we've already got it all figured out for your niche already. You don't have to work with us as an ad agency per se to get those results either. We sell just campaign templates that work for your market and markets that we've been in that if you're a plumber, instead of building a campaign for yourself, we've already worked in the plumbing space for several years. You can use our campaigns, ads, landing page templates, and so forth, copy and paste that into your own accounts and get the same results we're getting in that market already. In that, we would be able to tell you what results you can get, and we are getting in that market already. So when you jump into it with us, with using our template, you already know what the result's going to be without all the effort. We just charge a one-time fee for those templates, and you're already off to the races in that market without the 3 years of work that we had to do to figure out exactly what works for that market. So if you're interested in that as well, you can reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be happy to look at what you have and see if we have something that we've already done that's already matched it already. Anyway, with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, you saw a lot of value from it, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later.